Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. A soldier will fight long and hard for a bit of colored ribbon. History is a set of lies agreed upon. Religion is what keeps the poor from murdering the rich. Impossible is a word to be found only in the dictionary of fools. Death is nothing, but to live defeated and inglorious is to die daily. In politics, stupidity is not a handicap. Victory belongs to the most persevering. History is the version of past events that people have decided to agree upon. A leader is a dealer in hope. The strong man is the one who is able to intercept at will the communication between the senses and the mind. If you want a thing done well, do it yourself. The best cure for the body is a quiet mind. You must not fight too often with one enemy, or you will teach him all your art of war. The battlefield is a scene of constant chaos. The winner will be the one who controls that chaos, both his own and the enemy's. What is history but a fable agreed upon? Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever. 4 hostile newspapers are more to be feared than 1,000 bayonets. There is no such thing as accident. It is fate misnamed. If you wish to be a success in the world, promise everything, deliver nothing. To do all that one is able to do is to be a man. To do all that one would like to do is to be a god. There are only 2 forces in the world, the sword and the spirit. In the long run, the sword will always be conquered by the spirit. The first virtue in a soldier is endurance of fatigue. Courage is only the second virtue. Men are moved by 2 levers only, fear and self-interest. Men are more easily governed through their vices than through their virtues. I can no longer obey. I have tasted command, and I cannot give it up. Great ambition is the passion of a great character. Those endowed with it may perform very good or very bad acts. All depends on the principles which direct them. Ability is nothing without opportunity. Imagination rules the world. 10 people who speak make more noise than 10,000 who are silent. If I had to choose a religion, the sun as the universal giver of life would be my God. Nothing is more difficult, and therefore more precious, than to be able to decide. A true man hates no one. Take time to deliberate. But when the time for action has arrived, stop thinking and go inches. Music is the voice that tells us that the human race is greater than it knows. An army marches on its stomach. Soldiers generally win battles. Generals get credit for them. From the heights of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down on us. There is only one step from the sublime to the ridiculous. Power is my mistress. I have worked too hard at her conquest to allow anyone to take her away from me. Courage is like love. It must have hope for nourishment. The surest way to remain poor is to be an honest man. The people to fear are not those who disagree with you, but those who disagree with you and are too cowardly to let you know. A man will fight harder for his interests than for his rights. In politics, never retreat, never retract, never admit a mistake. I am sometimes a fox and sometimes a lion. The whole secret of government lies in knowing when to be the one or the other. One must change one's tactics every 10 years if one wishes to maintain one's superiority. The truest wisdom is irresolute determination. There is one kind of robber whom the law does not strike at, and who steals what is most precious to men: time. He who fears being conquered is sure of defeat. It is the cause, not the death, that makes the martyr. A throne is only a bench covered with velvet. The best way to keep one's word is not to give it. It requires more courage to suffer than to die. Doctors will have more lives to answer for in the next world than even we generals. Religion is excellent stuff for keeping common people quiet. There are only two forces that unite men: fear and interest. The torment of precautions often exceeds the dangers to be avoided. It is sometimes better to abandon oneself to destiny. If they want peace, Nations should avoid the pinpricks that precede cannon shots. The extent of your consciousness is limited only by your ability to love and to embrace with your love the space around you and all it contains. When small men attempt great enterprises, they always end by reducing them to the level of their mediocrity. I love power, but it is as an artist that I love it. I love it as a musician loves his violin, to draw out its sounds and chords and harmonies. France has more need of me than I have need of France. Throw off your worries when you throw off your clothes at night. Water, air, and cleanness are the chief articles in my pharmacy. All religions have been made by men. The great proof of madness is the disproportion of one's designs to one's means. Respect the burden. War is the business of barbarians. A constitution should be short and obscure. Among those who dislike oppression are many who like to oppress. The army is the true nobility of our country. With audacity one can undertake anything, but not do everything. Ambition never is in a greater hurry than I. It merely keeps pace with circumstances and with my general way of thinking. The human race is governed by its imagination. The herd seek out the great, not for their sake but for their influence. And the great welcome them out of vanity or need. Forethought we may have, undoubtedly, but not foresight. I have only one counsel for you, be master. Men take only their needs into consideration, never their abilities. You must not fear death, my lads. Defy him, and you drive him into the enemy's ranks. The infectiousness of crime is like that of the plague. The revolution can be neither made nor stopped. The only thing that can be done is for one of several of its children to give it a direction by dint of victories. The French complain of everything, and always. I made all my generals out of mud. The act of policing is, in order to punish less often, to punish more severely. It is my wish that my ashes may repose on the banks of the Seine, in the midst of the French people, whom I have loved so well. In order to govern, The question is not to follow out a more or less valid theory, but to build with whatever materials are at hand. The inevitable must be accepted and turned to advantage. Public opinion is the thermometer a monarch should constantly consult. Riches do not consist in the possession of treasures, but in the use made of them. When soldiers have been baptized in the fire of a battlefield, they have all one rank in my eyes. We must laugh at man to avoid crying for him. England is a nation of shopkeepers. One should never forbid what one lacks the power to prevent. Skepticism is a virtue in history as well as in philosophy. A man cannot become an atheist merely by wishing it. A celebrated people lose dignity upon a closer view. The Battle of Austerlitz is the grandest of all I have fought. A revolution is an idea which has found its bayonets. Let the path be open to talent. Medicines are only fit for old people.
Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.